Season 4 of the Real Housewives of Durban kicked off with lots of gold on Showmax's Friday morning. Now, we've had to wait a whole year to see how things pan out in this friend group since that Season 3 reunion special. But Sana, the time has come.
Bring back my girls.
Because if you remember, after Mbali was done grilling those girls, except Sorisha Naidoo, who might have told them, don't mess with me, I'll bring all the wealth here. Some of the girls vowed they wouldn't be returning to the show ever again. Top of the list was Maria, who after her first season with the show, felt so betrayed that she swore she'd be done with the cameras. And of course, Jojo, who'd been threatening to walk away from the show for a good minute now. But hey, a check is a check, Jaya. Things kick off with Sorisha inviting the girls to her chakra-themed party, where the girls were encouraged to undertake a healing journey and release all the stress. And by the end of it, the ladies had to consider who in the group they might want to forgive. We also got to meet the season's new additions who replaced Annie and friends of the show, Sane and Mbali. Now, news that Annie had decided to pack it up and go on her way left many fans of the show shocked. She was one of the OGs, having been with the Real Housewives of Durban since its very first episode as one of the main cast. But after the ups and downs she's endured in the last couple of seasons, and I think a lot of it has to do with the heat she faced on social media, Annie decided to leave the show and focus on her mental health. And who can forget Sane's complete non-apology to Annie?
What do you mean when you say that Annie slept her way to the top?
Okay, I'm going to say it again. I said I did not mean it in that manner.
What did you mean?
She slept her way to the top.
I can see why Annie said, you know what, bye. Coming in hot is actress, broadcaster, and media personality Zama Ngcobo. Bringing in someone new definitely requires good casting because you are adding a whole new personality that must mix with the vibe and the energy of the friend group. And let me tell you something, Zama Ngcobo's classy and sophisticated energy makes her such a good addition to the show. And because she's already established in the media industry, I think her addition only adds more credibility to the show. We also got to meet Angel Ndlela, who now becomes the youngest cast member. And while she definitely brings that fresh Gen Z energy into the mix, she's definitely no pushover. And by the end of the episode, the 29-year-old musician and influencer had already confronted and checked Zama about referring to her as a kid. It was funny though because she spent the whole night referring to herself as a baby. But we do appreciate that this young queen, who holds an honors degree in psychology, is ready to clock in and work. Felt a little forced though, but hey, it was entertaining. Well, there's a lot to unpack from the shade-filled premiere of the new season. Stick around as we dive into the villain era we were served by best buddies Nonku and Jojo, a review of the new girls, the shenanigans at Sorisha's party, Slee's comeback from her financially stretched era, and a look back at how we got here. Remember to subscribe to the channel, leave a comment below, and smash that like button. Welcome back to the Quench channel as we await the Lost reunion special for season 2 of the Real Housewives of Lagos. We can be happy that the Durbanites will be keeping us entertained. The Real Housewives of Durban come back with a bang on Friday morning on Showmax, and we are 3 goals down from the previous seasons. Annie is out, and it's something she'd already decided by season 2. Okay? Talking to True Love magazine last year, she said, I actually think that after season 2, I'd already felt in my spirit that I didn't want to return to the show. I think season 2 was a very difficult season for me, and I think it took a toll on me. But then I realized that if I didn't come back after season 2, I wouldn't really have the opportunity to give the viewer a better perspective on who I am as a person, because they didn't really see who I was in the first 2 seasons. And you know what? Her growth totally showed on season 3. Bye, Annie. Mbali and Sane also left as soon as they came in. And I, for one, will miss Sane's Pomasilo energy, but we aren't likely to be seeing the blonde wigs anytime soon. Now, when Sorisha Naidoo invited the girls to her fancy chakra-themed event, she had the idea that the group needed much healing. And I think it was a cool way to enter season 3 with a sense of forgiveness amongst the cast members, especially considering how things ended at the season 3 reunion. Dressed in their beautiful gowns representing their take on 4 elements of nature, the girls approached the fire to write down the names of the person in the group they would like to forgive. Now, tell me why they all wrote their own names. That they forgive themselves. Because, baby, none of the girls are ready to bury the hatchet from the last season. For one, Nonku and Slee could have easily written each other's names in there and say, girl, I forgive you for betraying me so much that we eventually threw hands at dinner because you ate my laundry. Remember that in season 3, Slee was forced to address her financial problems after Nonku basically said, "Akanamali lo muntu." At the reunion, Slee rebranded her financial struggles and described them as being financially stretched. While dealing with that, Slee also had to answer questions about her ex being her aunt's former husband.
Clap if you care. Clap if you care.
At the time, Nonku also came under fire for the demise of her friendship with Slee on social media and amongst the cast members. The group addressed the fallout and the slimy shade they both threw at each other throughout the season. In her defense, Nonku said she had felt that Slee was doing way too much. I brought you to this group and you are already moving hella weird, girl, calm down. Also not starting any smoke was Maria. Now, I'm going to be honest, I am relieved that Maria is back with the group, as I believed that Vele, she was a good addition to the show.
I don't remember. You like a dildo in the wind.
She came in hot and brought something completely different on the show. She has a gusband now, a new gusband, which for those of you who don't know, is a gay husband. And again, for those of you who don't know, that is a gay bestie. This of course means she did not get a chance to mend fences with her previous gusband, Ruan Sheepers. Remember how she broke down at the reunion because she felt that Ruan had fed her to the wolves? We're done with that because now there's someone new. Neil has come in and Neil does admit Uguti. He wonders if the group will think of him as the replacement gay. Jojo chose to forgive herself as well, and not Maria, with whom she had a big fallout last season, after she had made those remarks about Maria's lips. Now, one of my favorite things from that episode was how the girls got straight to work. Slee has taken the term financially stretched and turned it into a clothing line, or as she says, turning insults into revenue. Okay, period. Now, I really loved that because it reminds me of the way Eddie, Wendy's husband on the Real Housewives of Potomac, was able to turn Happy Eddie gossip into a business. Overall, I think that was a good start for the girls. Honestly, the Durban girls are still carrying. I mean, the Real Housewives of Johannesburg came back and no one moved, no one said anything.
Is that shade, Phaedra?
Now, over to you. What did you guys think of the big return of the Real Housewives of Durban? I'll listen on the radio. Clap back in the comments, hit the like button and subscribe to this here channel. Until our next video drops, which, hey, will be very soon. Peace!